Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. Yes, it's the Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero related to movies, TV shows, video games, all that stuff in the pop culture space. I am Mo Le Poupée, your resident Fabricant and commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, and I'm joined by the video game designer, anime expert, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend LADI. LADI, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Ready to talk about this episode and some of this news.
Yeah, yep, that's right. We're talking about Marvel's What If. We are in week 2 of Marvel's What If episode 2, and in honor of episode 2, also in honor of the late great Chadwick Boseman. We're gonna entitle this episode number 14 of the Supercast, "The Superior Star Lord." And
Yeah,
that'll make so much sense when we get into talking about the episode.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's true.
Yeah, but as usual here on the Supercast, we like to start our podcast off with a little news. Talk about the news that is revolving around surrounding the superhero space within pop culture. So we're going to talk about some movie news, in particular Shang-Chi premiered this week, 3 weeks in advance of its actual widespread release. And it was released for critics, and we're going to talk about the early impressions. We're going to talk about the little dust up, if you will, between the star of Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, and Bob Chapek, the CEO of Disney. And we're going to talk a little bit more about J.K. Simmons and what his role in Spider-Man: No Way Home and apparently maybe Venom. Yeah, what that all means for the MCU and the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. And then we're gonna talk about some tea. They spilled some tea. The stunt coordinator on Iron Fist spilled some tea about what it was like to try to get the stunts and the fighting going on that particular show for Netflix. And there's big news in the Captain America movie realm regarding Anthony Mackie. So we're going to get into all of that right now. So, Shang-Chi. I don't know. I know I'm super excited about it. Lottie, I'm sure you're super excited about it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but would it surprise you to know that well, first of all, it's a little weird to me. It's 3 weeks out from the actual wide release, and they had a premiere for it. And of course, this is you know the pandemic's pushing everything back and back and back. This was I think it was supposed to come out either earlier this year or late last year, but it's out now. At least for critics, all those lucky people in LA that get to go see movie premieres before the rest of us normal people watch movies. But
hmm
it's been released, at least for some critics to talk about, and there have been some social media reactions to it. And they, by and large, have been really, really positive. You got people talking about, it's the best, origin story in the MCU. It's got like awesome action and great
Some
set
strong
pieces.
words, man.
Yeah, no, what do they say? If you don't know Simu Liu's name, you will after this, and another hit. So I'm not gonna lie. I've barely the worst thing I've seen anyone say about it is it's got some pacing issues in a few places. That's it. Otherwise, just a huge outpouring of yeah, this is awesome from people that have seen it. So, um, having heard that, having seen that, what does this do for your excitement level for this movie, Lottie? And um, what do you think this means for Phase 4 with such a movie coming out?
Well, when it comes to my excitement level, it doesn't really change much because I'm excited to see the movie. I knew from the very beginning, from the first trailer I seen that this was going to be a good movie. First of all, I don't know about anybody else or any of these um reviewers, I am a kung fu movie junkie, so I do not care if the movie was cheesy. I was gonna watch it and enjoy it because I love kung fu movies. And give that movie a $200 million a kung fu movie a $200 million budget. It's a wrap. I'm gonna watch it. Grew up watching Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Sammo Hung, Jet Li. I can go down the list of I love kung fu movies.
Oh,
So
I was gonna mention like one person if that's your pedigree as far as your kung fu knowledge. Well, Michelle Yeoh is in this, so I mean, come
oh
on.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. That sounded like you know just amazement to my ears when you just said that. And like I said, I am massive. I've always been a massive kung fu fan. So hearing that this movie did well doesn't really like change much for me. I've always, like I said, been big time superhero. I mean, kung fu junkie. But what this, but what this does mean when it comes to the MCU for Phase Four. This we've talked about this in the last Supercast when it came to Disney. I mean, not Disney. I mean, Warner Brothers, and how some people they gave the Suicide Squad raving reviews, but a lot of people didn't watch it. I feel like a lot of people are going to go watch this movie, and I hope so because this will allow the MCU to go out more, try different stuff because it's like me and you talked about it. I feel like the MCU needs to be grounded in certain places, and we don't have to have a big spectacle of like another you know Endgame or Infinity War. We can, but not like in the near future. We could just have like, for example, the whole thing that's going on with um oh what's that that's going on with the with Loki with meeting Kane the Conqueror. You have Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange and Loki deal with that. While you have movies like Captain America, and this movie Shang-Chi, where they're more earthbound, where we don't have to go over the top, and we can start trying new stuff. So this might lead into maybe getting a Heroes for Hire movie.
Oh man,
Hey, I
don't.
will.
Okay, you know what? You don't. That's. I don't want to say that's not too far. I'm like that's exactly where I wanted to go, which is what's made the whole Netflix, you know, the Netflix shows kind of petering out. It just makes me so sad because Heroes for Hire is awesome. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, I was already on board for this. I mean, you had me at fin fang foom. You don't need to keep on buttering me up. I'm ready. Let's go. But it is gratifying to see that the trailers maybe I've heard that the trailers maybe held back a good bit, that there's actually more to it than that the trailers just aren't saying. And
mm,
even seeing the final trailer, seeing like dragons in there and Shang-Chi and his dad fighting and all that stuff. That's I mean it's awesome. And so I'm glad. Like this is the same with Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad had a lot of early reactions. People were like, "This is awesome," and then I saw it and I was like, "It is awesome." So I agree with you. So if this is the same way it's going, then this is probably going to be better than that, and that's great. Um, as far as what does this mean for the MCU? Well, first of all, this is a groundbreaking film just for the fact that in the MCU this is like the Black Panther, the Black Panther effect. This could this be Asia's or the Black Panther for Asian Americans, Asians around the world. Maybe could be. I mean, it
yeah,
certainly looks like the cast is trending that way, and I think that they took that into consideration to as an Asian director, who by the way if you ever want, if you ever want to see like the sort of pedigree of the people who are making Marvel movies, Destin Daniel Creighton. Like I say, he's an Asian man.
Mm-hmm.
He directed a movie that I really like with Michael B. Jordan called Just Mercy, and it's based on a true story about
Just,
a. Have you seen Just Mercy? I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the one
uh,
where he's the guy's a lawyer in Alabama for the Mercy Project, trying to get people off of death row, and
oh yeah, I haven't seen
it's
that, but I want to see it.
yeah, it's a great movie. And so I already was like, oh, that's the guy that's directing Shang-Chi? Bet. And so hearing this, I'm like, great. Good to know. That gives me high hopes, not just for this movie, but also for Eternals, because the director of Eternals directed a movie that I really like also recently called Nomadland. She just won an Oscar for that. And so I'm like, oh, this guy went ham on directing this, and I'm sure she's going to go ham. So Eternals just shot up even higher in my estimation. I'm really looking forward to both of them. But Shang-Chi will be here within 3 weeks, so I'm all over it. Let's go. um, and related to that, let's just jump in straight to the next one. Was a little bit of a, I don't want to call it, I guess, controversy, maybe just a little bit of a dust up, some ruffled feathers, if you will, or you could just call it, someone being highly protective of the project. But Simu Liu is the lead. He plays Shang Chi, and he had some words for the CEO of Disney. Some pretty strong words. In fact, I'm gonna quote them. This was in response to, as Bob Chapek. He's the CEO of Disney, and he was being interviewed about the release strategy of Disney going forward, considering the pandemic and where it is and all that stuff, and that you know um, the whole deal with Scarlett Johansson suing them because of Disney Plus simultaneous release and all that stuff, and so Shang Chi is going to be released into theaters only, which makes sense because it was an expensive movie. They're trying to make their money back, you know. Um, so he was saying in an interview that he called it an interesting experiment that the Shang Chi was, and Simu Liu wasn't happy about that, and he said in a tweet, he said we're not an experiment. We're the underdog, the underestimated. We are the ceiling breakers. We are the celebration of culture and joy that will persevere after an embattled year. We are the surprise. I'm fired the fuck up to make history on September 3rd. Join us. That's his. That's it. That was his. His post. Well, I guess it was on Instagram, right? And it immediately caused like people were like, oh shit, he shots fired and all that stuff, and he went at Bob Chapek, and what do you, hey, you hear that, you hear what Bob Chapek had to say, and also I'll add that Kevin Feige is as sort of in interviews that of course he's the Marvel Studios head. He stepped in to sort of be like, what, I think maybe he misunderstood what was being said. It was, and he's trying to smooth things over here. So you hear
Mhm.
all of that, and what do you think is really going on there, and how stupid was that that comment by the CEO of Disney?
Oh, it was a dumbass comment. He- there was no reason for it. I mean, there's a lot of people. Um, there's a lot of people that work hard in this movie, and just to say it was an experiment, basically, you're like, oh, we wanted to see if we can make some money off of it. Oh, that's nice. That's cool. It's not an experiment. It's like imagine if you put your some people they put their hearts and souls into some of this stuff, and it's just goes back to why it's just we talked about it last podcast with like how they're handling with these comic book writers. It sucks that a lot of people that are in power are just not caring of the people underneath them, and they'll say stupid stuff like this, like oh, it was an interesting experiment, and it's just, come on, man. There was just no reason for it. You can just say, I am very pleased to see that. I'm very pleased to see our project is doing well. But what do you mean it's an interesting experiment? You know what I mean? It's like, imagine if I got married and someone asked me, how do you feel about my wife? Oh yeah, my wife was a very successful experiment. What do you mean successful experiment? You know what I mean? It just ah, it just and it just sucks that, like I said, these are the people that are in power and they just say callous stuff like that. And it's because that's how they feel. They, in his mind, it's all about the bottom line. He doesn't care about the people who put their heart and souls in it. And I don't know, man. It's just he should have just shut up. And now some, what's his name, the real superhero here, Kevin Feige, is gonna have to come with a big fan and try to blow out the flames for I don't know how many times. This man needs a raise. This man has literally has done damage control so much for the MCU Disney that is ridiculous, man. This man has done damage control for the comic book writers. He's done damage control with Scarlett Johansson. Now he has to do damage control for this guy. What's next? When Captain America,
Oh, Anthony Mackie.
Captain America, yeah, when Captain America comes out, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, this was a great experiment. Anthony Mackie gets mad. He's gonna have to do damage. He's gonna have to get out a fire extinguisher. God dang.
Yeah, it's this is one of those things where I don't think, and I in fact I'll say with confidence that Bob Chapek wasn't like, oh yeah, this we look at this as an experiment. Like as if he was diminishing it or anything. No, he's the CEO of Disney, and Black Widow did not do quite what they wanted, and so if anything was an experiment, it was Black Widow. Like can we be serious about that? If anything
Yeah,
was an experiment, it was Black Widow.
yeah, Black,
So
because she's not a truly
well,
main.
it's not even that. No, I think that no, she's good enough to make money at the box office. The thing is they were trying to see like how far can we stretch this whole simultaneous release on Disney Plus. How much money can we really make at it? And let's call it like it is, failed experiment. They can't make enough money to justify the cost of that. And plus, they got Scarlett Johansson suing them. So that's the experiment. If anything, was the experiment. But the point is that that's not the sort of way you, as the leader of Disney or any company really that puts out movies, that's not the way you talk about a big marquee project. And even worse, the optics are even worse because it's the first movie in the MCU that's featuring, a cast of people of color that are all almost all Asian. In fact, it might be all Asian, well, mostly Asian.
Yeah,
So this is your first. This is you trumpet to the world. Hey, all Asian cast. It's gonna be great. We're gonna respect culture. All this other stuff, and then you say some dumb shit like that. Not meaning to be malicious. Not trying to mean it. But you got to understand the way it looks. You're a powerful rich white dude running a company like that, and you look how bad that looks. So
yeah,
just like when you're a CEO, how do you make it to be a CEO of anything, and you can't think, a few steps ahead and think maybe I shouldn't say something like that. Instead of calling it an experiment, say instead how confident you are that it's going to kick ass at the box office. You may say that, and he's talking to investors. I get it, but even to investors, you need to be all in. Like, no, this shit is going ham. We're making
yeah,
we're gonna make all the money with this. Are you kidding me? Look at what we got. Everything in line to make all the money right now, and plus the movie is fire. Now, what else you don't have to say anything else to the investors except y'all about to make that money. You're about to be happy because I'm about to line your pockets.
yep,
But he says, and so of course, again, someone Simu Liu, he's the star, and he's on social media and everything. He's a big, you know he self promotes and all that stuff, but he's gets fired up for stuff. So yeah, he took exception to that, and
Yeah.
he went in, and yeah, Kevin Feige's has to call and be like, yo. He's a dumbass. Just chill. We got you. You
Yeah.
can guarantee we got you right now. Y'all made a fire movie. Just he's an idiot. So don't don't stress too much about it. And at the end of the day, the movie's gonna be out and all that stuff. But this dude needs to get his shit together. I've been hearing some not so great things about him running the show anyway, but he needs to get it together because that is not a sign of confidence that he's displaying. So be better. That's all I'm trying to say. Be better.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate.
it's ridiculous, is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Be a cheerleader. You want your money back, don't you? Cheerlead. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
Can't tell him that though.
we're we are looking forward to Shang-Chi in a few weeks' time, so I can't wait to talk about it. Well, moving on to our next story. It's a real short one, just a little speculation or whatever. This is we're nerds. We like to speculate about things. J.K. Simmons. I don't know. Did you hear this? That this week that it kind of been spoiled. That J.K. Simmons. I do believe they're saying he is going to be in Venom too. And I think that was supposed to be. You know how it's a closely guarded secret for Spider-Man No Way Home. I think maybe it's supposed to be the same thing, but it's sort of been leaked out. So if he's going to be in Venom, and where presumably he's going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home, and he was in Spider-Man Far From Home. What does this mean for the MCU? And what does this mean for the MCU and for the Sony Pictures, Spider-Man universe? Are they the same? Are they alternate universes? Is this the multiverse effect going on? What's
Into the
happening right
Spider
here?
Verse.
Well, you just have to
In
ask yourself, what is happening right here? And what do you think is happening, and what do you hope is happening?
Okay. Here's my crazy theory. Into the Spider Verse. And you remember how in the animated movie there was those little spiders that were the key to the other dimensions?
Right.
J.K. Simmons is the key to the other dimensions.
So are you saying like in DC Comics where like Superman is like the center of the universe, everything's built around. So and then J.K. Simmons, everything in the MCU and the Spider-Man, it's all revolves around J. Jonah Jameson. So
Yes.
I would say that he who remains has been pruning the wrong person.
Yeah, he's been pruning the wrong person. Somehow, J.K. Simmons has been in. He's about to be in 3 Spider-Man like movies. He's been pruning the wrong person. The person who's been causing all the disruption was not Loki.
Shit.
It was J.K.
It
was J. Jonah Jameson.
I got something, man. Not only that, he also is the connective tissue between the MCU and the DC universe because he's in that's his that's his alternate self. That's his variant. Commissioner Gordon's his variant.
Yep. Somehow, like you said, he's been focused on the wrong person. He's been focused on Loki. It turns out it was J. Jonah Jameson the whole time.
Oh man, these are fun little things we like to speculate on. What does it actually mean? I feel like Marvel and Sony, they have been just cock teasing us about this shit for so long. They're like they're like a stripper that never takes her top off. They keep acting like they're about to do it, and and this just never comes off, and you're just like, come on, give me what I want.
Give me what I want.
and what we want, you know what we want. I'm gonna speak for all of us. And like if you don't think I speak for you, shut up and let me speak for you anyway. Uh, and it's this. Sony, Marvel, will y'all just fuck already and make one, make one, one baby, aka the unified Sony and MCU universe? Can y'all just do that? Stop fucking around. Like, stop playing right now. You're playing with our emotions. We want everything that's in. We want Venom to fight Captain America. God damn it.
Yes.
We want Thor to rip Carnage in half, and we want Morbius to fight Blade. It's that simple.
Yes.
Do you want all the money? Is my question. And the thing is that they do want all the money. They just don't want to share it with each other. And I'm like, motherfuckers, Spider-Man Far From Home just made over $1 billion. Show me one Sony Spider-Man thing that's ever made $1 billion. I'll wait. None.
Well,
Okay.
did what's it called make $1 billion?
No, I'm
Like
saying
Into the Spider-Verse?
no. Spider.
Oh.
I love Spider-Verse. It did not. It got nowhere near that. That's what I'm saying. Like any Sony by itself making a Spider-Man thing has never made $1 billion. Sony and Marvel Studios together made $1 billion on Far From Home. Now, was there an in-game effect? Sure. Fine. It doesn't matter. $1 billion that y'all can split between the two of you. Like, let's do this. Y'all just. I'm not saying Sony, you got to sell Spider-Man. I'm not saying that. Marvel, I'm not saying you got to kick Spider-Man out of if they don't sell to you. No, just make the shit work. Everyone loves Tom Holland being in the MCU.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you want more of that shit? And here's the other thing, Sony, for real, the best Spider-Man shit is when y'all are working with Marvel Studios. When Kevin Feige has something to do with it, that's when y'all make the best shit. Let's just get it together, man. Come on. Let's let let's let J.K. Simmons be the glue that holds all of this beautiful stuff together.
Who knows? Maybe J.K. Simmons is the one who's negotiating the contracts between the two right now.
J.K. Simmons is like the Kevin Feige in universe of the he can make it work.
He'll make it. He'll find a way. J.K. Oh, this is hilarious, man.
Yes, whatever. I know I'm being over the top. It's fine. I'm a nerd. That's what we do. But like for real, I hope it means something. If it doesn't mean something, that's fine too, because J.K. Simmons is awesome, and I can't wait to see J. Jonah Jameson somehow justify Actually, if he's in Venom, Spider Slayers make all the sense because Venom and Carnage suck. So, but I can't wait for it to see him like with his face on a robot, on a Spider Slayer robot screen.
Venom is a menace. Venom, you're a menace.
And I'm like, he actually is. He does eat people. So.
Yeah, he does eat people, so he is a menace. Carnage is definitely a menace.
Yeah. So, all right, well, that was fun. That was a fun little diversion. Let's move on to the second one. You know what? I wish we don't do this too often, but it's time to throw some shade on a motherfucker. You want to throw some shade on a motherfucker for stupid stuff? Let's do it. So, just real briefly, I don't know if you watched Iron Fist on Netflix. I watched about 6 episodes of the first season and never really finished it. And how did you feel about the martial? Did you watch that? I don't know if you watched it.
No, I never got a chance to watch it.
Well,
but I heard about it.
Yeah, I can tell you the martial arts not so good. Not so good in it. Particularly, and I'm gonna say not all of it, but coming from Iron Fist himself, who's supposed to be slightly less good than Shang-Chi at martial arts. And he's a living weapon, blah, blah, blah. And somehow he doesn't look like that's true in the show. And so the name of the actor is Finn Jones. He was the lead. He's playing Danny Rand, and didn't look like he could really beat anybody up. Truth be told. And so we got a little a little shade throwing from the stunt coordinator on Iron Fist, name of Brett Chan, and he basically was like, you know, me and the stunt team worked our ass off. We worked overtime trying to make this shit look like it's an actual good martial arts show, but certain people who will remain unnamed, Finn Jones, didn't want to ever train. And so we were always trying to cover up the fact that he never wanted to train. And so, if you ever wondered why fighting in Iron Fist was trash, it's because Finn Jones couldn't be bothered to fucking train up. Even though the young lady playing Colleen Wing, who was who's supposed to be like samurai or something, not samurai, but she's supposed to have been descended from people that do, or like swordsmen. She apparently worked
Mhm.
4 hours a day, worked out 4 hours, trained 4 hours a day to get her shit on point. So let's throw some shade right now. Uh, when you hear this, how much do you want to, judo chop Finn Jones in the neck? Just on a scale of 1 to 10.
Uh, 13. It's just a damn lazy, lazy bastard. Come on, man. You're getting paid millions of dollars to do something, man. Just
Or maybe
do
more.
your job. Even let's just say hundreds of thousands of dollars at the minimum. Do your job, man. It's like, imagine if I played football and I told my coaches, I was an NFL player, coaches, I don't feel bothered to practice today. They'll look at me like, what? Come. Hey, I'm under contract, technically under contract. If they cut me, they still have to pay me. But come on, man, get your lazy ass up and go do some damn work. Especially if the other people are going to do the work and you just don't want to. And it sucks because it ruined a good character in a good movie. That's why they say there's no bad characters, just bad actors. You know what I mean?
Well, I like to think that it can be a combination because no great actor can make a badly written character good, and no good well written character can't be ruined by an actor phoning it in. But I think what's at play here really is because to his credit, he got trashed after season 1. So when season 2 and Defenders came around, he did work to get his shit right. But I mean, the die is cast by then. People think you're
Yeah.
trash. I mean, look, you got the likes of Keanu Reeves, who had no fight martial art experience whatsoever when he started when he got cast for The Matrix. Worked his ass off to at least sell it. And by the time, the first movie, you could still see, this dude's not really trained, but he worked. By the time Revolutions came around, he was doing, he could have worked in Hong Kong, doing Kung Fu movies. That's so, he didn't, he took that to heart and he worked harder. But I mean, come on. Iron Fist is a awesome character and you ruin it because you can't be bothered. Get the fuck out of here. That's all I say. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And
Lazy ass.
you let your lesser paid, you know, kind of co-star. I don't even want to call it co-star. She was a co-star. You let your lesser paid co-star show you up and working. You know what? No, I don't know. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. You're the star of the show. You should be there first and leaving last. That's the way
Yep.
that's the way champions are. You know?
Yep.
LeBron ain't the first to leave. He's the last.
Yep.
He's the last on the court. He's the last out of the gym. He's the last out of the weight room. He don't play that.
Absolutely right.
So so you got to lead from the front. And I don't expect we'll see him again in any Marvel thing, but that's
Yeah. Take your lazy ass on.
yeah, trash.
Mm.
uh, all right, so moving on to our final final bit of news. Great news. A bit of business, I suppose you could say. The ink is drying as we speak on the contracts for Anthony Mackie to reprise his role as Sam Wilson, aka Black Falcon,
Black
aka
Falcon,
the current
Captain
Captain
Captain Falcon.
yeah, the current Captain America, the person that's wielding the shield in Captain America 4. So this follows up on, we had talked about this, probably a few months ago, and on the heels of Falcon and Winter Soldier and everything, they had confirmed that they were working on Captain America 4, and they had brought back the writer from Falcon and Winter Soldier to write the Captain America 4 movie. So they just made it official. He's going to be Captain America in the next Captain America movie. No surprises as far as I'm concerned, but I still do want to know what your reaction is, knowing that it's official. The papers have been signed. There's going to be money, flowing very soon, and we're going to have more news about Captain America in the future.
I'm excited to hear that my boy, Captain Falcon,
Captain Falcon
is going to be in the next Captain America movie. I don't know how that works. I don't know if Nintendo might send a cease and desist of using their character's name in their movie, but I'm just happy to see, like you said, give us our black Captain Falcon. You know what I mean?
But
why I keep calling him Captain Falcon,
Black,
Captain America?
That actually made, why you're saying that actually made me think of something that'll just make your head explode. Are you ready? You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
But you got a hat on to make sure all the brain matter doesn't go anywhere. Here it is.
Yes.
Captain Sam Wilson, Captain America in the next Smash Brothers DLC character. All right. Plow. You ready?
So,
you gonna be nice. Are you gonna be okay? Can you have that?
I can see him as an Echo character. That would be amazing. I would love to see.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna blow your minds for a second time. The Black Falcon versus Captain Falcon. Go.
Yes. Listen, I love everything about this. I love the of course the TV show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now that he's Captain America, I'm really wondering how all this is gonna go, because we have Madam Hydra out there lying to people to get them to kill old Avengers. So we'll see. What does that mean for other characters? You know what I mean? Like, hey, is she gonna start sending more people out of other people? Because she, of course, the recruited what's that guy's name again? Help me out. What was his name?
John Walker.
Yeah, she of course recruited John Walker.
Dollar Store Captain America.
Yeah, the decent Captain America. He was terrible at first, but now he's decent. But
I mean, he only murdered someone like in front of everyone on TV. But
yeah. And then we got Jungle Fever. What's his name? Winter Soldier. So.
And we're not actually sure if he's gonna be in that. There's no word on that.
He's gonna be in it. He's dating his dad. He got Jungle Fever. He's gonna be in there. He's in it. Jungle Fever, Winter Soldier is gonna be in that movie. Probably just show up. What's his name? Comes home. I can already see how the movie go. Wilson gets beat up. Captain America gets beat up, and he needs a place to crash, and he comes to his sister's place, and he sees Bucky in the bed with his sister. Man, what's going on? Hey, man, I didn't know.
I would say, I feel like in DC, not DC, in Marvel, they're just like, their sex, we're just not going to acknowledge that there is. They don't like to talk about it.
But usually in Marvel movies, if there is sex, it's like one of those things where they come like, what was the whole thing where Hulk grabbed us Black Widow and it just ended? The whole scene, they didn't even kiss. I didn't know they did kiss. Then the next scene you see him, I guess less. He's just not as green as he was before, and he's turning back. I guess he went partial Hulk, and I don't know. That would be kind of hard to sleep next to that metal arm. You know what I mean? Mm. Do you think he takes it off before he sleeps?
uh, oh my gosh, I don't know that I've ever actually thought about that.
Does it take like? Can you imagine? Let's just put on our minds like we're women trying to do date Bucky. If he's sleeping on the wrong side and you like try to put your arm, that's gonna be a cold arm. You know what I mean? That arm's gonna be cold.
Well, even worse. What if he like has night terrors? You know.
Oh, Jesus! Yeah, he has to take that arm off. He has to take it off. He
Yeah.
has to take it
I
off.
mean, it's already bad enough anyway because dude's a super soldier. So, just
I'm
saying.
pretty sure she's used to. I'm pretty sure she's used to it because she has a. Let's not forget. Wasn't they have PTSD too? Sam
Yeah,
Wilson.
yeah, but he doesn't have the power of like a super soldier. So, well, you know
Yeah.
what? Wow, we're getting far into the weeds on this one. It's- I I will echo your sentiments that not about that, not about like whether or not Sam is going to kill Bucky for sleeping with his sister, but I will echo your sentiments about being excited about the official. I mean, we knew this was coming, so it wasn't like I was just like, no, this. I'm surprised, but just happy that it's official because contracts being signed means pre-production. It means the wheels start turning, and the thing about it at Marvel is that it's such a well-oiled machine that when these contracts are signed, you can pretty well be sure that it's pretty well along in the process. So we're going to be I think we'll be hearing about production on it sometime around this time next year, maybe. I think that sounds about right because it'd probably be coming out in 2023, like late 2023. So you would expect hearing a production starting maybe sometime in July, August next year, and so that means the train keeps on rolling. We'll get it sooner rather than later. So I'm happy to hear about it. Happy for Anthony Mackie and just ready to see what the next chapter of Captain America is going to be. So, and you know what? I think that's going to be it for the news for this week. I'm sure there were many things that we missed. We can't cover every bit of news, or otherwise this would be like an hours long podcast. But you know what? Maybe you feel strongly about something that we should have covered, and you want to let us know about it. So if you want to get down into the comment section, let us know what you're thinking about. Also, you can hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And you know what? We'll chop it up, see what news items we should be covering. All right, news over. Time to get on with the main event, the main topic of this week's Supercast, and that is the Superior Star-Lord. Of course, we're talking about What If Episode 2, and it's entitled "What If T'Challa Became a Star-Lord."
Oh my goodness.
So, as usual, we're going to do spoiler-free thoughts, some brief spoiler-free thoughts about the episode before we dive into spoilers. So, you are safe for now, but if you haven't seen this episode, maybe go see it before you listen to us talk about it some more. Just head up.
Please go and watch it. Please.
So, it's pretty. The premise of this is pretty simple. The Watcher's just like, well, what if something else happened? What if you can see this in the trailer? What if Yondu took T'Challa instead of Peter Quill? What would have happened? So, I don't know. What did happen, Lottie? And how did you feel about this episode?
Okay, I got a little spicy, maybe hot take. Some people might come after me after saying this. This is one of honestly, for this show to be a what if a spinoff show. This is probably one of the best episodes I've seen of any superhero. Not all, not saying it's the best of all, but it's in the top five or top three of my favorite episodes of anything superhero that I've seen this year. I've like there's not a second I did not enjoy of this show. It I'm kind of upset that this is not a series. Like honestly, it is that this episode was that good that I'm upset that this is not a series. 30 minutes does not give you enough. I enjoyed every second. I mean, I remember I texted you. You remember I texted you the first 3 minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, I love this. I already know. I love this. Oh man, I can't even put into words how good that episode was. Just adding, and it's like you said, it was the name is just perfect. The superior Star Lord, and you would think that how is it possible? How could somebody be better than Peter Quill? Watch this episode, and it's not even close, man. It's so wow. It was such a good. The writers, no, they need a hand. They need a raise. They need a raise for this. Like, I mean, boy, they did. They knocked it out of the park. And honestly, I really think that they should look into making this a TV, like having it like a little small series. Like, give us a 12 episode season of this thing. I will eat that thing up, man. Oh, I loved it. Loved it. There's not much. I want to talk spoilers, so I'm gonna just go ahead and let you go.
All right. Well, I will just kind of in response to what you said about wanting more. I am almost certain we're going to see this character again. This character of T'Challa as Star Lord. I've seen some, s- was it trailer or something like that that leads me to believe some promo art that leads me to believe we're going to see him again. So, but I'm getting
Hmm.
ahead of myself. Yeah, this is, you know what? This just continues just kind of like the excellence to me. I watched this twice tonight. I watched it twice. I watched it, when and did some work or whatever. Then I was like, you know what? Let me put this back on, and just kind of let it kind of float in the background, and just so I could see some extra things in it. And there's a lot of extra things in it. This is to me a triumph of writing, as you indicated, because it's a writer or writers who understand T'Challa so completely, and they ask it like the very first the watcher asks a question, who are you, who are you? Are you a product of your circumstances or environment, or are you, is it something in you? And they answer that question very clearly within this episode. They do something like people were talking about the first What If episode that, oh, they just retold Captain America, the first Avenger, just with a girl, and which is a a really overstatement of what happened, but still, that was their criticism. You cannot say that that's what happened in this episode.
Oh yeah, this is not even
Yeah,
no, not even close.
yeah. T'Challa being Star Lord is so much different in approach and the cause and effect and the so-called butterfly effect of T'Challa being Star Lord is so massive. It's hard to it is, you know what? I no, I'm gonna say this. No hyperbole. I'm not. I don't think that I'm saying I'm over exaggerating this. T'Challa being Star Lord is as big an impact as Loki looking in what's the name? Not Eugene. What's the guy's desk and seeing Infinity Stones just hanging around like they're nothing. To
Yeah,
me, that's how big of an impact on how you look at the story that this was.
yeah,
Um, there are huge. It's an examination of his character. It's an examination of all of the other surrounding characters. It's a, you know, same but different. there's some emotional shit in this. Like there's
Yeah.
some real deep emotional stuff going on within this. there's I think that in some ways some characters are actually improved over their original character. I will not say
Oh
that
yeah.
I'm not going to say T'Challa is improved because I think that this isn't an
It's just
improvement.
him.
It's just
It's
him.
who he is. Yeah.
But there's an improvement of
He's
many.
just in space.
Yeah, there's an improvement of many characters that we already
Oh
sort of
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah.
There's actually a pretty interesting fight sequence. There, you know what? I got Star Wars vibes off of this.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a clear Star Wars vibe on this.
I kind of felt like it was kind of like watching what's that guy's name? Han Solo.
Yep.
Yeah, it had a lot. It was man, this was such a good God, it was such a good episode, man.
And there's and at the end of the day, you know, it is you know they win in What If you're like I want to see not you no I demand to see
Yes.
more stories with this person
Yes.
because
Please.
how dare you introduce a character like this and just be like, oh, you'll never see him again.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
how dare you do
30
that?
minutes is not enough. You can't do this to me. Only 30 minutes? No.
You know what? I'll
No.
even say this. I would love a movie with several of the characters that are within it.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Several, I would like,
honestly,
oh, let me see that. I want to see more of that.
I will literally, like you said, I will pay. Like you said, I will watch a 12 episode series. I will watch a movie. 30 minutes of what they just gave us is not enough, man. Like it was so good. Oh, that
Yeah.
was God. I love that episode. Oh man.
I know you're itching to talk about this. So I will just say, it's an excellent episode. It really is. Like if you like Black Panther at all, if you liked Guardians of the Galaxy at all, this is an episode for you, meant for you. And you know, the only downside there's only really one downside to this. And I think that is unfortunately there's a bit of a diminishment of Peter Quill by
Yeah.
comparison. That's the only thing that really kind of like sticks at me. Like it's just by comparison. So, but that's
Yeah,
about
but I'm willing to sacrifice Peter Quill to get more of this. I thought that at the end, I was like, yeah, but I'm willing to sacrifice him.
yeah.
If I get to see more of this, I'll sacrifice Peter Quill.
Yeah. So, um, that's all I'm gonna say. Go watch this episode. You'll really enjoy it. All you Marvel fans, you'll really enjoy this. I think. So, I think that's the end of our spoiler-free thoughts on this episode. And so, if you have not seen the episode, go watch it and get out of here. Otherwise,
Yes.
you're about to be spoiled. You have been warned. So, um, you know what, Lottie? I'm just gonna let you off the leash. Go ahead. Go ham.
Oh man. Okay. I'm not. I'm just gonna start off with the first 3 minutes, man. Oh my God! It's Star Lord. Wait, hold up. T'Challa is actually famous. Oh shoot!
wait. Hold on. We have to talk. We have got to talk about this. Wait, no, I'm not kidding. We have got to talk about this. I loved you said the first 3 minutes. I loved how well, think about the way that scene happened in Guardians 1 and think about
Hmm.
this. But how he's like, I'm Star Lord, and Korath is like, a what? A who now? And then on this one, he's like, oh, holy shit, it's Star Lord. He fanboy Korath.
He
Fanboyed
fanboyed
out.
him.
Are you I was like, no, my dude Korath. Korath is a badass. He was like, oh, he's like, can I get up? I was like, dude, are you just like chill? Like you are. He's wait a minute, no, it's for real. Korath, he's a T'Challa Star Lord stan. He stands for
Yeah.
him hard.
He's Man, it was so hilarious that the dude was like, "Oh my God, can we take a picture, please? Just it will be such an honor to spar with you." I was
I
like,
was
"This
like,
dude."
yes.
Oh, should I use
It's-
the gun?
He's like, I'm willing to change sides though. Hey, because
Oh
Ronan
man,
kind of sucks.
yeah.
This-
I mean, God, I love that. I
This-
love
you-
that whole entire sequence.
There's, you know what? We call this Superior Star Lord, and he is like
Yeah.
what I had to. I had to stop the show about 3 times. I mean, pause. I did one of those things where you get up, pause, and go run to the back, run down the hall, and just be like, no, I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
I
there
I
were
did that.
so there were so many parts that happened in this show that I'm like, my God! Like the next scene is when he's talking to Wandu about the thing, and he's like talking about helping lives, and Wandu's like, "Oh yeah, I'm down with that." What? I was like, "What?"
You know what? It blew me. I stopped again. I paused it, and I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me the king? Let's just say King T'Challa, the noble royal King T'Challa.
Hmm.
He's such a fucking persuasive, badass, moral, cool, good guy. He is such a hero, good guy that he turned a group of pirate mercenary scum basically and turned them into good guys. He turned Yondu
Jesus.
into a good. I was like, are you kidding me? That's that's T'Challa is such. I'm just shaking my head. I'm just shaking my head. Wait a minute, yo, we got it. See, I'm having a hard time.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Thanos is a rap. What? What? What?
Man, listen, I'm not gonna lie. That threw me when he said when they were talking about. Oh wait, did they kill Thanos? And
It's
then he
like
was like, "Oh, I prefer me in person." What?
no,
Thanos?
I was like, oh, you motherfucker. I was like, oh, you motherfuckers. Because Korath is just like fanboying out. It's like, well, what did you do? What'd you do about Thanos? I was like, what did he do about Thanos? Because isn't he looking for the infinite? Nope, he's not looking for it. He's a Ravager. What? Wait, T'Challa is so good. He's so good that he stopped Thanos with a good argument. What?
What? Yeah,
What? I,
that
I'm,
that hits so different, man.
I was just like, I'm thinking like he literally just had a conversation with dude and was like, you're wrong, right? And and Thanos is just like, but I'm right though. And he's like, no, really, here's how you're wrong. And he's like, you know what? You got a point there. Can I work for you?
I just love how he kept trying to bring it up like, oh yeah, it's not. I think
It's
that's
efficient
genocide.
though.
No,
But
it's
it's
not.
efficient though. It's efficient though. It's yeah. That
Oh
was a good. It was a good joke. That's and so you think when Thanos goes over, like you're like, oh well, he works for him, so he's a little less badass than he was in Infinity War, just a little bit. But then they still give him a moment to be badass. Like
yeah,
this is, I was like, it's shit blowing my mind
yeah,
that that T'Challa was like, you know what, we could sell this thing to the highest bidder, but you know what, wouldn't it be better to uh, use this for good, for all the good that the treasure can bring to people? And Yandu's like, yep, you're right. You're right, my boy. And I'm like, God, man, come on. That's
yeah.
oh man,
It's just it's ridiculous how, like you said, how he's affecting these people. He's turned these people into. I
good
mean,
people
man,
into good
he turned them
people.
into good people.
Wait,
He's
not
like you
only
said.
that, he's become legendary for basically being a hero in space. And not just that, all of the Ravagers, at least in Yondu's crew, are good guys too. Like
Yep,
it's that you saw Taserface. Taserface is a good dude. Like
yep.
that's how that's how 20 years of T'Challa changes people's lives. I'm like, God, I mean, come on. Look, you don't have to sell this anymore to me. I already T'Challa's my dog anyway, but you don't have to sell it anymore. But they do. They sell it pretty hard. So much that Korath is like, yes, I'm that's my best friend, yo.
It's oh man, listen.
Hey, let me ask you this. This was a funny part I liked. The mistake that was made to bring him there. That I could not.
Oh
I
yeah,
couldn't.
I love how he while dude turned around and was like, "Wait, what? No, that does this look like Peter Quill?
They're like
Hey, you said eyes, lips, and ears. I don't
he's
know."
like they got two eye holes, two ear holes, one food hole. He's like, and the other guy, he's like, humans all basically look the same to me. And I was and I you know what I love about that moment? You know what I love
They
about that?
what?
What I love about that, first of all, that one of the guys is basically human looking anyway. But whatever.
Yeah,
What I loved about the moment is, God damn it, racism is stupid.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah. That is a perfect key to show non-racism because, like you said, they all look the same.
yeah,
You know what I
to the
mean?
alien, he's like, yeah, whatever. They're all the same. I mean, look, I can't tell them apart. Seriously, like how am I supposed to tell? Look, they basically look the same, and I'm just like, God, is there the simplest way to say racism is really fucking stupid? You know,
Yes,
really nice. I really really like that part. It's really funny. It's um.
I love it, man.
I'm going through my notes right now. So um Nebula. Neb Nebula is like Han Solo, basically, right?
Oh yeah,
And she's got blonde hair.
yeah. Nebula is one of those other characters that is so much better in this. Oh man, it's like you said. What this basically tells me is that This is what's his name convinced Thanos very early.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because he was able to stop Nebula. The only robotic part that she has is her eye.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So because the Nebula we know is pretty much almost all machine.
right,
You know what I mean?
right,
So this one, he pretty much probably changed Thanos' mind maybe 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
right.
When she was still like really young. Because here's another question. There's no Gamora, so this had to
Exactly.
be he must have changed Thanos' mind when he was still sort of a kid.
Yeah, no, because I think he was 8 when he was abducted.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you're right. There's no Gamora. Nebula is a regular. She's a regular person. He's
yeah,
still still adopted. Um, More to the point, then this is related to what you're talking about. T'Challa changes so much. Drax is fine. His wife and his daughter are alive
yep,
because of T'Challa.
yeah.
And like he literally had the Ravagers go face down the Kree. Like oh
Wow.
man, that's yeah. You just
Jesus.
you think about all these things, and it's just like, dude, what's what else is he up to?
Black
I
Panther in space. I
Yeah.
mean, God,
There
jeez, man.
there was
That
there was there was other some other really nice cameos too. I liked we saw Howard the Duck with lines even.
yes,
And I would love to see more of Howard the Duck. That would be cool. But also, did you notice Cosmo the dog, the astronaut dog?
yes, I saw that too. Yep.
So he was in the first Guardians when they went to nowhere, or was it the second one? But whatever, when they went to nowhere, but he didn't really. He actually is from the comics, and I really hope we see more of Cosmo in the future. But that was pretty cool that they rescued Cosmo. Um, what did you think of the Collector in this?
Oh, the collector is definitely way better. I like who he became. He's this basically how can I he's this he basically became like an intergalactic kingpin, like a gang member. Like he became like, the kingpin for Spider-Man but in space. And I like like the little thing of him, collecting stuff. He's collecting people,
Yeah,
basically intergalactic trafficking. And it's just cool that Howard the Duck was one of them, and just it's cool that we got a cameo of Howard the Duck in the happy hour joke. But then, he of course abducted the what's it called, the
he had a little bit of
Wakandans.
Well, he had a little bit
Yeah.
of everybody. Like I didn't see any of the Wakandans in there. He had clearly he had collected, one of their spaceships. Probably, I would assume that.
No, he
be-
killed them. He
Yeah,
had to
I would
kill them
assume that
because they had.
I would assume that the Dora that were on the ship were dead, and that they were sent into space to try to find T'Challa. But I noticed, yeah, he had the collector had a bunch of people. He had dark. You notice the dark elves.
Yep.
There was a lot of races that were represented within those boxes. So, I
The
mean,
one thing that is kind of bad about this future, what's his name? Bit the Dust, one of my favorite characters in the MCU. The dude who's made out of stone. He
oh well, we don't know if that's Korg. We don't know. He just said
no,
he was said it was one of the um one
no,
of
he
the same
said
race.
a obnoxious talking is Korg. Unfortunately, so it's unfortunate. It was probably Korg.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
it could be, and I think the collector he's much more bad. He's more badass. He's more physically impressive
badass.
than,
Oh yeah,
and I
that's one of the things I noticed too. I was like, damn, this dude is actually kind of
he's
he's
kind of
impressive,
yeah.
man. He's
Well, well,
before he was like,
yeah,
hmm
yeah. I was gonna say more to the point. He's obviously he's obviously spent more time collecting because if you notice, like we don't, I don't know, eh, he has Captain America's shield, and he had. Do you see Mjolnir was in there? He had
yo, yeah,
Hela's. Well, where the hell did he get those from? I'm gonna assume he didn't go get them himself. Someone got them
no,
to
no,
him.
yeah, someone
But
had to get
but
them.
if he's got Mjolnir, so is Thor dead, right? If if he's got if he's got Captain America's shield, how did he get that? Where did Captain America's shield come from? It had to come from somewhere
Yeah,
to make it out into space. So
and that is true. How the hell did he get
yeah, I mean,
in this universe? That maybe Thor and Hela just fought a lot earlier.
oh yeah, we don't. I mean, we don't know what this exact time period is because it's 20 years later. So he's 28 years old, right? So it's 20 years later
hmm
from when he was first picked up. And the question is, how how did he get a hold of these things? Like I said, I really doubt that the Avengers went and fought him for any reason, but someone retrieved those things for him. So the question that maybe won't get answered.
Yep.
But I thought it was interesting. He had Hela's clearly dead because he's got her helmet. So found that very interesting. But I think that the best thing about his whole deal was it did well two good things. One, it showcased how T'Challa is almost always the smartest person in the room
Yep.
because because everything that happened in there was he'd anticipated more or less. The only thing he didn't anticipate was the Wakandan ship, and that kind of upset things a little bit. But otherwise, he was on point.
Yep.
The other thing to me, the other important thing that the whole deal with the collector was to really show the relationship between Yondu and T'Challa, and how very similar but similar but not exactly the same as it was with Peter Quill. And so that's like actually one of the themes that really hit me, especially when I watched the second time, really hit me hard about the writing in this episode, the kind of the multi-layer writing. And one of the layers that they uncovered was Yondu and Peter Quill. It wasn't just an accidental, you know, father son relationship. Yondu, I think, at his core, is looking I think anywhere in the multiverse, he's looking for that surrogate son, and
Yep.
he found it in T'Challa, and they became they became like father and son, and you really kind of see even in the midst of kind of being mad at him, they still have each other's backs and they work through everything and all that stuff, and they're still tight and strong when it's all said and done. And
hmm
I was like, yes, because Yondu his character arc, that's the way it followed in the Guardians movies. and to see that it remains true just the same way that the nobility and intelligence and regalness of T'Challa shines throughout the multiverse. I love the fact that that's true. You know,
Yep.
it's um. Let's see. What else I got in here? This just some silly things that were in here. I love how they made nowhere look like a chia pet. At the end of it was just I was like, it looks like a chia pet. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Um, the Black Order, the
Oh yeah.
glorified bodyguard. They're what do you call them? Fake police. Yeah,
I just,
they're mall security basically at this point.
I hated what's the chick's name again? Midnight something.
Yeah,
I hated
Proxima Midnight.
her. I hated her just as much as I hated her in the Infinity War slash Endgame. I just like I do not like her at all.
I just, again, as we talk about things that are similar but slightly different, you know, Nebula and her contentious relationship with her dad. But even though she and Thanos, they kind of still have a little contention, but it's a lot closer and a lot more like, I'm still mad at you for things when I was a kid, but that was it. And to
Yeah.
see Thanos being like, "Nah, I'll make sure you guys get away," and then she comes back, and then it's you know father daughter team up to kick the shit out of. I loved it. I mean, I just like that. That's something that's
Uh,
consistent. You know.
so we need to talk about this thing that they were able to take. Is this basically like Hashirama cells on steroids or something?
I mean,
Like,
it sounds like space magic basically, but it could be like if you've ever seen the Star Trek motion pictures. I think the second one where it's just something that highly accelerates plant growth and shit like that. I mean, it's something like that. Sounds like a lot of fake stuff, just like most things in the MCU are a lot of bullshit science, but it's just a thing to make them go and have an adventure, basically. Maybe we'll see it again. Maybe we won't.
because three seeds basically took up the head of a dead celestial.
Yeah. Yep. Uh, it's. I guess it'll be like I said, a chia pet, basically at this point. Um, there is another thing I kind of want just a bit of speculation. What ex what do you think the political situation is in this universe, given the fact that the Ravagers are you know what? At least T'Challa's Ravagers, they almost sound to me like the Nova Corps in terms of what the Nova Corps did within they're not that they're police or anything, but in the sense that they try to peacekeep and sort of help people out. So, given the fact that they put themselves up against the Kree at one point, they helped out some freedom fighters at another point. Like these are stories people are telling you about. The political situation out in the galaxy with with T'Challa being Star Lord has got to be significantly different.
Hmm.
Sounds to me like it's significantly different.
Oh yeah.
The Kree and the scrolls and they were talking about scrolls and the Kree maybe aren't they aren't able to just like do whatever the hell they want like they were doing before.
Yeah.
So
Like, s- from what I'm gathering in this whole thing, that they're pretty much this universe is a more less chaotic universe where there are good people going around, because even let's just like let's if you can see, there are people that are bad that are fans of what T'Challa is doing as Star Lord. So what this basically says is that he's basically T'Challa is like we all said, he's of course he's the superior Star Lord. You know, he's the Star Lord that ends all Star Lords. He is literally what the Guardians of the Galaxy hopes to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What they pray to be, and he's, you know what I mean? Just
He's
flat
a
out, just
he's a
showing
game
it.
yeah, he's a game changer. He's clearly a
Yeah,
game changer. Um, and things are better, except for that whole part about Dairy Queen Peter Quill having his dad show up and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna change the universe," and that little ominous, "Oh, it might end the world. Who knows?" It's like
yeah,
I'm like, you know what, Watcher, you ain't right. You ain't right at all. Uh,
yeah. He was like, yeah,
that's a nice
this
little
is,
stinger at the end, though.
yep,
But I mean, just overall, there's, I did have one more thing. I knew there was one. I was going to forget about it, but I'm recalling it. Again, credit to the writers about this. The fact that T'Challa is who he is, I loved the fact that he was like, let's go back to Wakanda. They get back to
yeah,
Wakanda. He does not, because this is the sort, T'Challa is he's a person that looks at people in an expansive way. And I mean that by saying he spent 20 years in space with Yondu and the Ravagers, and they became his found family. That's his family that he constructed out of the people that were around him. And when he gets to his blood family, he doesn't toss them away or anything like that. He introduces them as, this is the family I collected along the way, with an expectation that his family, his blood family, will open their arms to include the Ravagers as a part of their family too. And they do, because that's who T'Challa is. That's who he is. He can bring people together.
yep.
And and isn't this how different, how much, not how different, but how much does this reflect him as a character? The fact that in the heat of the moment, wanting revenge, sad, broken, and just like an angry young man after his dad died, chasing down, Bucky, chasing down Cap, and able to not follow through on trying to kill him when he realizes what's going on, and to pull back from the brink. That's who T'Challa is. He does it.
And
That's the
then,
sort of character he. That's the person he is,
and then he takes them in
and takes him
and
in
has everybody in Wakanda respect him as their guest.
and fix him and
Yep.
give him an arm and respect him as a person. This is this is the what if people understanding this character so completely and following to a logical conclusion what sort of impact he would make on the not the world, on the universe. And I loved
Yeah.
it. I mean, I you don't have to, again, I'm sold on T'Challa already, but I'm extra sold on him now. Like
There's very few characters in the Marvel universe that have such a, good and infectious, like really good personality, and that are just really good people. And that's, of course, T'Challa. There's Steve Rogers and there's Peter Parker. Like those are like the three people that, if they find a way to bring people together. They don't see things the way normal people see. They try to see the good in everyone. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And it's just like you said. It's an amazing testament to just seeing how this is not really, like I told it, like really when you think about this, this isn't what if T'Challa became Star Lord. This is what if Black Panther had the means to travel the universe. Like that's literally what this what if is.
Mhm.
That Black Panther, who he is, if he's able to travel the universe, imagine the good that he will be able to do throughout the universe. You know what I mean? And now that he's back with the Wakandans. Can you imagine? Like, so let's just say we get an episode 2. There's going to be Wakandans probably in the Nova Corps. There's probably going to be Wakandans joining the Ravagers. There's probably going to be the Wakandans doing all different sorts of types of stuff. Maybe even trying to infiltrate the Creed. Like, we're going to see, like, can you imagine what will happen now that... Imagine the Dora Milaje. Oh, my God. Just going to blow your mind. The Dora Milaje. Oh, boy. Woo! Imagine the Dora Milaje joining the Ravagers. Oh man, the Creed. I feel sorry for Ronan, boy. Woo.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of. We'll see. We'll see if they follow up. I think this has been a very well received episode. So they're. I think they're going to follow up on it, but we're going to see. I think that the culmination of all these episodes are probably going to be a team up of sorts between different people in the multiverse, and so I'm hoping that that's true, and I'm looking forward to seeing T'Challa again. Just imagine, Captain Carter and Star-Lord T'Challa. So just keep that in your mind as we proceed down the coming weeks. So I think that's all I got to say about it. I don't know. You got anything else? Or you?
No, I don't got anything else.
Yeah. So you guys, that's our thoughts, our spoiler-filled thoughts on episode 2 of Marvel's What If. So, what did you guys think of this episode, and what did you think of our commentary? Why don't you get down to the comments? Let us know what you're thinking. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And let's talk about this episode. It's just damn good. It's just good. So, and you know what? While you are down there in the comments, why don't you get down there and hit that subscribe button, join the Super Not Funny Show family, and hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when we drop new content. We do a couple of podcasts, we do reviews, all that fun stuff. So just come check out our various bits of content. And I couldn't do this show all alone. Of course, my good friend LADI, he helps me out over here on this podcast. So, LADI, why don't you tell them where they can reach you on your social medias?
Oh yeah, you can always reach me on my social media at my Instagram. I'm always uploading pictures and different renders of characters that I'm working on. I also upload short videos on my Instagram, which is Anukinihun. It is ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. I also have a YouTube channel where I upload videos of me playing various video games, also of more in-depth videos. I'm gonna actually start putting up videos of, like, I guess, videos of me working on my game. So if people are interested in looking at it and learning, some basic game creation content, you can tune in on there. And it's not going to be professional like some people who know exactly what they're doing, but you will get to see somebody who's working and figuring out at the same time.
Yeah, you guys go check that out, and like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Show some love to LADI. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks once again for joining us for this episode 14 of the Supercast. Come back next week. We're going to cover the third episode of What If, and of course, all of the movie, TV shows, video games, etc., related to superheroes. I have been Mo de Pape, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by LADI, the video game designer, lover of anime, and lover of all things superhero. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.